We're back, and you're listening to G5 here on Gimme Metal, and we have our next guest with us. We have Attila from the legendary band Mayhem. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's great to be here.
So, Attila, Mayhem has a new EP out off of Century Media Records, and now the EP offers 2 songs that were included as bonus tracks off the Damon album. What was it about these 2 particular songs that made you want to release them now on an EP?
It's like, we always, when we make an album these days, we always think about, first of all, like, for instance, for Japan, like Japanese releases, they always demand bonus material. Mm-hmm. Also, we have this amazing, great following base, the really hardcore fans, collector fans, these real orthodox dudes. They really love to have a special thing, which is their own treasure. So we recently, we always coming up with like this box set edition, and there we love to give a little bit extra for these guys, so they can have their collector items. So it's good to have these extra tracks, but it's always a big problem, for us even, to figure out which should go on the record, which should go off the record. So it won't mean that these songs were less good as the rest. It was more like, when we make an album, I like to watch the whole picture and the whole frame of it, and what fits into it and what fits less, and this is somehow we do it. But then again, this whole songs were made for a different purpose. This EP is just because of this COVID Armageddon. It was not planned like that.
And well, you also have another song on there that hasn't been released, Voces ab Alto. Now, was this something you wrote specifically for the EP?
No, this is the same as I told you. It's one of the songs we were created together with the rest. So this was all done together. They all belong and they connected. We just the Voices of Alta is also great and groovy song. We just had to leave it out. We didn't know what to do. We were thinking maybe we're gonna release some interesting materials through the years. But it came very handy because no one could foresee this COVID shit. So we just put it out to keep interest alive. I mean, our new album just came out before the COVID happened. So now, our new album is not fresh anymore. At least doesn't feel fresh for us. And this is a fucked up weird situation we never experienced before. That I probably in my whole life, since I'm 15, I never had like 1.5 year break in my life out of stage, So it's like, it's a so weird situation. Nobody knows. So we just thought it's good to at least to keep this album alive and to give something more to our great fans, just because now it's 1.5 year delay. If we come back and play the Diamond album, it will sound like an old record, for us at least, or who knows how it will be, it's a strange situation. So that's why I thought I agreed with this record, and we agreed that it's a good idea to put it out and keep the flames alive, so to say, and try to refresh the Diamond record or give a little refreshment for it, and hopefully we can come back to US. The plan is next year. The tour's been scheduled probably 2-3 times, our US tour now. You guys might already know. That's crazy. Imagine those promoters, that amount of work they have to do, and well, I'm not talking about how much we suck this, but anyway, it's like, but think about just the promoter. It's crazy. I don't want to go into the details. I hope to come back, hope to make it finally.
Well, hopefully you could come over here and it's like you said, you just giving your fans a little something, and it was kind of fun. And I don't know, I don't usually mention fun with Mayhem, but but I was kind of happy to see that the EP also includes some great covers from some of our favorite punk bands. So how did this idea of putting these songs for the album come about? Tell us about that, because I'm loving it.
Well, like I told you, there was no idea. There was no plan. It's all came naturally. What happened, we recorded the Diamond record, and Hellhammer, our drummer, is a maniac. He was so fast, so they had some extra days, or extra time at least in the studio. So what to do, not necessary for me to travel, abroad to be there.
Right.
So I was at home, but the guys were there with the guitars, of course, to help Hammer, and, of course, they had to be there. So I was like, man, next time, you fucking assholes, you should fucking call me, motherfucker. Like, they didn't give me the fucking call. And it's like, I would pick up my song, but the good thing, they picked up the right bands, and that's fine. So I was a big fan of all these bands, myself too, of course. And we all, for me, punk is a big influence. And I think the rest of Mayhem too. I know Necro for sure had a punk influence, and Hellhammer too. The other guys as well, everybody from, Morten came from kind of like hardcore scene too, halfway.
Oh, yeah,
he was into that, the Norwegian hardcore and more black metal, but he had something to do with that. And Charles too from UK, of course. So he had his punk things. Maybe he's a little bit less influenced, but I think he had his punk. He had his peak of the song. Anyway, for me it was great because I love all those bands. So when I heard that at least it's from these bands, I was like, all right. So what happened? I was recording the demo, and at the end of the day, our producer said, "Hey, Atti, by the way, here is it's a Discharge song. Do you wanna?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it." So I did like first take, punch. That's something like that. So that's how the fuck we should do it. That's the way to do it, and it was super fun. And it's so good to send out a salute signal to the Discharge Bloods. I'm so happy, and for me, same with Mr. Jello, who is my friend, and we've been keeping in touch through the years. People might be, I don't know if they know, but yeah, I'm a close friend. We are good friends with Jello Biafra. He came for our first show.
Wow.
When we played in Mayhem in San Francisco.
Wow.
He came to backstage. Hey, I'm Jello Biafra. I was like, who? He was my hero when I was a kid. And for me, the year of the punk was 83.
Yep.
That's me, Dead Kennedy's plastic surgery disasters, GBH, City Baby Attack by Rats.
Yep.
Exploit the Truths of Tomorrow. These three albums came together. It was like a hanger. It was like a fucking, I don't know, it was like, it just threw me straight into the punk. I was into heavy metal completely, looking for more extreme music, and when I discovered these bands, and they kind of came almost at once, that was enough for me just to fucking, go deep into it. But later, it's just before I discovered extreme metal, before I discovered Venom, it's like 83, mid of 80s. And I remember when I heard black metal or Venom and stuff, I was like kind of like, okay, if you make a soup, like you put the metal and punk, you're going to get that. That black soup will come out. So I went into extreme metal and started to play then. But I never left behind this punk stuff. I more like moved back to metal, but these old punk bands I always adore. And of course, Discharge and Rudimentary, Penai and stuff. Those bands, Rudimentary, I knew it later. Like, that's like, more like end of 80s, I would say. Or 87-ish, 88, when I heard maybe Rudimentary. So, and that came from my punk friends. When even the second drummer of Tormentor, George, he was my friend. He came from the hardcore scene. And this is how I met with the punk dudes. I was the young Benjamin, like very young. Always the youngest in the beginning. And it's, and these punk dudes, they were like much older. I looked up them like, fuck, these guys look like monsters, so fucking extreme. And, like amazing. I was so blown away as a kid. But I never had the balls, so, how can I talk when you are 13? You can't talk to someone who is 18. You know what I mean? It's not working like that. So was always just look up on these guys, and it was just strange. And when I started to play Tormentor, my first band, we played like black thrash metal, extreme metal, and we were so much on the peripheries that even mainstream metal actually hated us or didn't really dig in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Extreme metal had a little bit of problems, but not just us. I mean, others too, I guess. But in the same time, the punk somehow, the first wave of punk music maybe was descending, and so on our shows, a lot of punk people came, and I was fucking happy to see them. Like, wow, these guys are here, and even skinheads came. But that time in the 80s, I remember, I don't know how was the rest of the world, but in Hungary, it was before they went too political. Everybody was singing, even the skinheads came together with the punks, and they were both against the system, and it was not so much political opposition.
Right.
But they were like less, a few, I didn't know much of the skinheads, that you guys, but I still met one of them, like a fucking crazy skinhead dude. So I was like, fuck, you're still alive, dude, wow, but I didn't hang with them so much. And like I said, all these guys also knew and hang together back in the days. But I was more in my punk and goth and industrial type of. But that time even goth, industrial, these words didn't exist. Industrial was as department, that was industrial music, which was really like played on barrels, So.
Yeah, was the good old days back then.
Sorry?
I said it was the good old days back then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Like a lot of new beginnings.
Yes, yeah. Everything was fresh, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And I'm very happy that these guys, and this is how we discovered each other with the punk guys. Like, I met first my punk friends, and they were listening Creator, Battery, Sodom, Slayer, like this European Thrash and stuff like that. I was like, dude, fucking cool. I'm listening this Charge, GBA.
Yes.
So they were like, really? Fuck, cool. This is how we. And so I think there's already a crossover in these two scenes, and I think we have a lot of common themes. Maybe, I mean, if you put in that way, like, I think we have a lot of common. Now especially when now I'm doing these interviews, I started to think about it, because before I haven't gave one thought about this, when we did the punk covers, yeah, sure, whatever. We didn't have a plan.
Right.
Plan to make this Frankenstein record, like we sew together 3 songs and put another 4 songs or whatever, punk song.
Yeah.
There's not a plan.
Right.
So anyway, I think it's great to send out these signals, and like I said, we had a lot of common things in my eyes. Like punk is more, maybe a bit more the social thing, a bit more the of course it's the politics, the society, and the material a bit more. But we have the common themes, like challenging society, challenging maybe not politics in our case, but challenging at least religion, and that's where we come to a common theme, because I think black metal is like punk in the spiritual world. We do the same thing, but more like in the spiritual realms, and a bit more on the soul side, and all the shit. But it's the same thing, challenging and rebelling and, breaking boundaries and breaking the laws, so to say, just to see what's there, and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of common, and I never thought about this before, because when I start to listen to music, I just focused on the music itself.
Right.
I even didn't understand the lyrics, really, when I was a kid. It was just the music, which was above any language or any other communication. It just talks from your heart or from your core, It's
Yeah.
in 12. Yeah.
Well, I think your fans are gonna like it. I mean, the members in Discharge like it. Why wouldn't the fans like it too? You know, I loved watching them, you know, listening to the song after you guys did it. And they're like banging their heads and shit. And they're like, yeah, this is great. It was just kind of fun. I just love this whole aspect of this, you know, putting those on there. And it's like you said, you know, you don't really think about it. But then, you know, once you're playing these songs and singing these songs, you know, the sparkly nights of when like you were a kid and how excited you used to be for this stuff and how much you used to love it. I mean, I think it resonates throughout the EP for sure, because I really loved it. And, you know, of course it's not exactly the same, but it's just kind of fun. And I think a lot of the fans are going to be, you know, happy that, you know, you brought back a couple of the former vocalists with Maniac and Billy for a few of the punk tracks, because, you know, they were all part of that time too.
And I think it's one of another, and maybe if not the best part of this whole EP, to have those two guys on board. I'm extremely fucking happy.
It's fun.
Like, first I like the idea, of course, because I knew that Maniac was into punk, and I knew, of course, we are friends. I knew his taste, and I knew that I felt like he would do a fucking great job. But when I heard it, I had to call. I had to write him immediately. Like, dude, what the fuck? You fucking killed this shit. You know, I want to talk to Jello what he thinks about it, but I couldn't do any better. He just fucking, I could feel he was on fire. It was so good.
Yeah, it was great.
And also with Billy, you know, with his fucking red skin throat. You know,
yeah.
So nice, so cool spice. It gives this extra little spice hint on this Ramones track. Fucking killer. I'm so happy that they are there, actually. And that's cool. And yeah, with the Discharge just came to my mind, you know, when they played in Hungary. My friend Stephen O'Malley from Sun, guitarist of Sun was here visiting me, and we were here in Budapest, and we were like, okay, what to do? Hey, fuck, there's a Discharge show, you know, of course we go. You know, and we were out, and we saw the Discharge show, and then I was blown away. I mean, they have a new vocalist, this a younger dude, but he was so fucking cool, like, wow. Like, sounded the same, you know, like the old vocalist. I can't remember his name now. But with all respect of that guy, but this new vocalist was super fucking cool and nice, and we had some pictures. We get shit-faced, so I'm sure they don't remember the guys that we met, but actually we did, and I remember very well. I should have somewhere the picture where we are standing with Steven and with those guys. It was fucking cool. Same thing with GBH.
Yep.
He played in Hungary. I went there and hang with the guys, and I don't think they remember, but I do. There was also like a show. I went there, like, you know, I was a bit far from the stage. At least maybe I was a bit high or something. But for 5-10 minutes, I was looking. No, it can't be that guy. You know. And then I moved closer. Fuck, it's him. No fucking way. You know, from far he sounded like exactly in the 80s.
Yeah, that's cool.
I couldn't fucking believe it. You know, it really took me time. Like, no, it must be some guy who's just a rep. I mean, it can't be real. You know, like, yeah. And then I was also, for instance, went to Integrity. It's a U.S. band, hardcore, I think. And I didn't know much them. I just heard somebody tell me, it's a cool hardcore band playing. Let's come down. I was like, for sure, I come up. You know, why not? And they just accidentally bumped into each other with the Integrity guys, like on the side, or they just came out of backstage or something. Someone introduced us or whatever. Dude, they were so fucking happy to see me, and I was like, wow, let's fucking... We had a great time, hang, party.
Nice.
You know, I was surprised, you know. That was maybe the first time I sensed, because it's a pretty long time ago, that we have this connection in music. That was Integrity. We still had their T-shirt. I'm wearing it. maybe it's around 2000 something, you know, like, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's fucking cool, and I especially, yeah, it's one thing that it's good that our fans understand this, and maybe the younger generation, the kids who like to look like the roots of the music, like we all do sometimes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
For them, it could be interesting to see and a little bit check out the 80s albums I mentioned, for instance, and there are others, of course, many, like I didn't mention Discharge or Rudimentary, which we talk about, of course, like that church, that's of course from Rudimentary Penai, or of course, Hear Nothing, See Nothing, Say Nothing, right?
Yep, that's the one.
From Discharge.
Yep.
Really fucking, that's a must. Everyone must.
It's a staple, yeah.
Extreme metal head must listen that fucking record once in a lifetime, and that's no question, you know.
So are you?
That's my order.
Yeah, I'm right up there with you. I actually have my Discharge shirt on for that album right now, anyways. But so hey, do you think you guys are gonna play any of those songs when you go out there live with Mayhem?
Sorry, but excuse me, was something wrong.
Do you think that when you guys go back out on tour, you're gonna throw any of those songs in there?
It would be cool. It would be cool to play some. You know what? This is hard to tell because so far we couldn't fucking rehearse.
Right.
Like I had a show. We had a show with Mayhem last weekend above the Arctic Circle. It was really beautiful up there in Norway, but I couldn't enjoy anything of that beautiness because we had to spend, me and Charles, our guitar player, fucking 8 years in a quarantine hotel at the Oslo airport.
Oh, man, what a rip.
Fucking rehearsing or doing, we hope that we can escape. We hope that the European fucking COVID card will help. No, it's still fucking chaos. Nobody knows what's going on. I'm sorry to say, I had my COVID card. No one gave a fuck. They said, only if you've been vaccinated in Norway, that's the only thing they accept, you know. So it's like we ended up in this fucking COVID hotel. Unbelievable. I was thinking like, okay, maybe 2 days, and then we forgot. No, we had to spend like 8 days. But even after the 4th day, or I don't know which, just one officer lady says, "Now you can go." Okay, but then we had but I couldn't go. That was a stupid day. So we had a rehearsal. We rehearsed, and I come back in 2 days because we had a day off. Okay, I want to go to rehearse. No, you can't go anymore. I'm like, what? I mean, you guys 2 days ago told me that it was over, the quarantine. I was released. Now you tell me that was wrong and I have to stay. And they said, yes, that's the case. They don't understand.
Oh, my God.
Law and rules and new rules. And actually, probably I had wrong info 2 days ahead.
What a pain.
Pure fucking chaos. That's what I'm saying. And we could hardly make like 2 rehearsals just to get somehow into shape, for this show, which was actually fucking good to play. But still, imagine, and that was beautiful because they just released the lockdown in Hungary, so finally I could go out with my Harley or whatever, my bike, just fucking hang a little bit. And now I end up in another quarantine. I was like, thank you, that's great. This is what I needed now. So,
are you?
Heavy Charles was kind of psychedelic.
Yeah.
Are
you guys playing Hellfest? Were you going there?
Yeah.
So you guys got a lot of stuff scheduled. Hopefully everything goes okay and you don't get shoved somewhere.
Hellfest is really, it's like a no man's omen. It sounds like hell. That lineup is just surreal. I don't know. This guy's Ben, I know the boss of Hellfest is a cool dude. It's just like us, but he went nuts, man. I'm happy for him. It's a great success for sure. But he's talented, definitely, and is doing great. But that lineup, even Skinny Poppy,
I know, I saw that.
It's fucking great. of my favorite band of all fucking times. So they're gonna play on Hellfest. That's killer. That's insane, you know.
It is. It is.
Snails I saw, and I don't know who else. There's some other industrial, maybe.
I mean,
So
there's.
I like that they have this industrial
Yeah.
thing now. You know, I mean, it gets you more interested in that.
That
right?
whole.
I mean, I've been to Help. I've seen this metal band. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say that whole lineup is crazy, and there's people from over here flying over there to see it. Of course, I don't know if they're gonna let them in, but you know, they're coming from all over.
It's like the Armageddon lineup. You know, like
yeah.
I even can't remember. I just looked at it and I was like, what the fuck? You know, like everybody is almost like everyone is there, or I don't fucking know what's gonna be. My son called me. Did you see the Helpers? I wanna come. Like, okay. You know, we're gonna. I mean, even I'm thinking if we don't have another show, probably gonna stay there a few days and just fucking party.
Yeah.
Hang, you know,
There's.
You know, with my son, of course. You know, if he's coming.
Yep.
Maybe try to get my daughter over. But it's cool. My son, guess what? You know, he became like, you know, I never fucking pushed him anywhere, and I was way too young when he born. So what the fuck I could teach? I did the best thing. Did nothing. I think that was the best I could do. Like nothing means like didn't try to
influence. Yeah.
I took care, but I didn't try to. You know, manipulate them or tell them, you know, give any directions, just help them to go. And so they didn't learn music, they regret like, fuck, you know, but at least they went to drama school, so my son is like a director and actor,
nice.
So he's not so far. But, you know, first, like, you know, it's typical. Like, it's every kid is like that because it's a human nature. Like, you want freedom, so anything which is a limitation, you go there.
Yeah, of course.
It's a clear example. Like, when he was a kid, we were talking about music sometimes, and I was like, yeah, but I'm not. I like all the music, but some music I listen less. For instance, in my case, it's a little bit less of jazz, less of hip hop, that style, you know. But you know, some other people, I like classical folks, but maybe that's the next thing. He became this hip hop guy, you know, the next day almost, and I fucking adored it. Of course, I even went to fucking Bronx and get him the real shit.
Yeah.
So when I was in US, I was like, hey dude, I was in Bronx. I tried to find the darkest corner there, you know, and get this shit from there. So he got this hip hop song. But this thing, like you said, and then guess what? When he turned to 18, 19, which is really strange, right? But he just fucking hooked on metal.
Wow.
So it's pretty strange. Also, I think some other things like this Guitar Hero game helped a lot for heavy metal.
Could be, yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
That turned a lot of kids back to metal. I must admit. And he told me like, Dad, you don't know how many of my friends, they don't look like metal dudes at all, but because of the game and shit, they hooked up on some metal music, you know. And nevertheless, he became metalhead and he's just gonna fucking come now.
Yeah, that's great.
Of course.
and without any pushing and influence from you.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing, like, if you ever have a kid and if you want to listen the Mayhem vocalist advice, I say, I can tell you 2 rules, which is actually, in this case, you express your love. I'm sorry, that's one of the main rules you have to do. Every day you have to express and say. And the second thing, that you always honest.
Yeah.
Always, with everything. If you keep these 2 rules, and don't make, and you maybe the third one, don't try to say something what you are not doing.
Right.
That's not gonna work. It's better if you don't say anything, just you do what you want your kids do. I mean, you show an example. It's not gonna work that you storm into the room that this is a fucking mess here.
Oh, right.
Look at your room first. If it's everything in order in your room, then you can complain about the mess in your kid's room. You know what I mean? This is an example I'm saying. I'm not, I don't. But I think this love and honest with a kid, those are two things basically can solve, I think, 80% of all the problems.
Well,
so that's my experience.
There you go.
That's what I learned, and probably could do better.
We all could. well, there you guys, there you guys have it. Mayhem has a new EP out. Now, it's out now on Century Media Records. They have all kinds of merch out, and you can go out and see them live as long as everything is going okay. Again, they're going to be at Hellfest. Good luck trying to find them there. There's going to be a million people there, but you will see them up on stage. And Attila, thank you so much for coming on the show, and we wish you and the band all the best. And we're absolutely loving the new EP, and God, good luck with those live shows out there.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your words. It was great to be in your show, and wish you guys all the best and beast and all the best of lucks, and fucking keep metal, keep the place alive. We're gonna bring the real Armageddon after this fucking shitty COVID stuff, and yeah,